reason I do that is because I'm gonna turn it on to fill out the tanks, so where you can hear the air governor release going off. Alright. So did you hear that? That is what you call your governor release. That means that your air tanks are fully, they're full to the max. All right. At this point, I'm going to do now my air brake test. I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to put it on start mode. I'm just going to move it halfway, so you can see those lights right there. Once that happens, I'm going to push in both my parking brakes. This is my truck brake, and this is my trailer brake. And as you can see there, man, it says trailer brake. Push them in. I'm gonna wait a couple of seconds for the air to reach the trailer. All right, now once that happens, I'm gonna press my service brake firmly all the way down, and I'm gonna say, sir, I shouldn't lose no more than 4 PSI in 1 minute. Would you please time me? Do not release that brake until the examiner says time is up. All right, so let's say that time is up. Now, I'm going to fan my brake in between 60 and 55 PSI. My low air pressure light should appear in my dashboard. Make sure it stays on, okay? Third step, I want to continue fanning my brake in between 45 and 20 PSI. Both my parking valves should pop up. And notice how I am emphasizing 45 and 20 PSI. 2, there he goes. Now, fourth step, I'm going to do another safe start. I'm going to ram it up to 1200, and in 3.5 minutes, both my air tanks should be filled back up to 120 to 140 PSI, which is tiny. Did you hear that, sir? That means that my air tanks are filled back up again. At this point, I'm going to get off and remove my chucks. Remove my chucks, come back in, frequent contact. Now I'm going to do the tuck test. The purpose for the tuck test is to show you that my brake system and suspension system are working properly. I'm going to release my truck brake. Push my service brake in, put it on drive, and just give it a tug. See, I go nowhere. Now I'm going to vice versa. I'm testing my truck brake now. Go nowhere. I'm going to test my service brake. Make sure that my truck doesn't lean to one side or the other. it doesn't lean to one side or the other. I'm going to reverse it a little bit back. Oops. Alright, sir. Now that I've gotten my air brakes and tuck test out of the way, I want to talk to you about some of the components inside the truck. As I did turn on the truck, I did see my ABS light come on and off. Directly in front of me, I have my windshield. My windshield is not cracked, broken, or missing. There's no chips. There's no evidence of any water coming inside the truck. My weather strip is intact. My wipers and wiper blades are properly mounted, secure. They're not bent, they're not cracked, they're not broken, and they are compressed against the windshield. To the side of my truck, I have my mirrors. This truck does not have monitoring devices, meaning cameras. It's got mirrors, right? My mirrors are properly mounted and secured. There's no illegal stickers, no cracks, no chips, and I can see very well on both sides. Directly in front of me, I do have my left signal. My left signal, my right signal, my low beams and high beam lights, as well as my hazardous light. Okay. I have my city horn, highway horn. I have my defrost and my heater. They're all working properly. As you can feel the heat, right? Put it right back in here. Put it right back to a comfortable temperature. Right down there, I have my emergency equipment. I have a fully charged fire extinguisher secured. It's probably in the storage department or probably my storage department. I have my fully charged fire extinguisher. I have 3 emergency triangles, which are in the storage department, and I have extra fuses. Let me see if I'm missing anything, sir. I think I did cover everything. Sir, would you please step out of the truck and check my lights? Remember, she's gonna get off, or he's gonna get off, and they're gonna be checking all your light system, man. Okay? You take a couple of seconds, man. Make sure you covered everything. Hazardous lights, my signal, my defrosting heater, my emergency equipment. Okay. Now, sir, we're gonna get off and do the outside part. Truck, I have my mirrors. I have my clearance lights. My clearance lights are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, broken, or missing, and there's no exposed wires, and they're amber in color. To the sides, I have my left and right signal. My left and right signal, my hazardous lights. The cover's not cracked, broken, or missing, and it is also amber in color, sir. I have my high and low beam lights, sir, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, broken, or missing, and the cover is not cracked, broken, or missing, and there's no exposed wires.
High and low beam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Very good, man. In front of me, there's no hanging wires, no hanging hoses, no puddles of oil or water, and my truck does not lean to one side or the other. Now, can you open the hood up? Now, this part right here, man, where you guys open the hood, they're not going to do it for you guys. Side of the passenger side, you have your you have your wiper reservoir. The cap is hand tight. It's filled to the proper level. My hoses are properly mounted and secured, and there's no leaks. In general, all my hoses and my couplings are properly mounted and secured. There's no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, meaning that I do not notice any hoses that are fluffed up, and my couplings are properly fitted. I'm gonna go to the driver's side now. On this side, sir, I like starting from top to bottom, from inside out. I have my coolant reservoir. My cap is head high, filled to the proper level. There's no leaks in my hoses. My oil intake, the cap is hand tight, properly mounted and secured, and there's no evidence of any oil leaks. My deep stick is properly mounted, secured, and filled to the proper level. That is my dipstick. All right. Back over there, sir, I have my air compressor. My air compressor is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds, no broken welds, and it is gear driven. If you follow this hose right here, it's gonna take you to the power steering pump back over there. Properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds, and it is also gear driven. My frame is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds. I have my power steering reservoir. My cap is hand tight, filled to the proper level. My hoses, there's no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. My fuel filter reservoir cap is hand tight, filled to the proper level, and there's no bubbles or leaks in my fuel reservoir. Right here, I have my steering column and U-joints. Properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not bent, or cracked, or broken, and should have no more than 2 inches of play. That means that when you turn it around like this, you should have no more than 2 inches of play. Okay, I got my power steering box, my steering box right here. Properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds, no broken welds, and it is gear driven. Before I take it out any further, I want to mention to you that I have my spring mount and my hanger back over there. My spring mount is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds, no broken welds. My spring leaf. This is my spring leaf, sir. What is your name, sir?
Jose.
Oh, yes, sir. You told me that. Jose, this is my spring leaf, sir. Properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds, and it must be aligned. My U-bolts are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds. My tie rod. That is my tie rod. You gotta see what this is, man. My tie rod. My tie rod is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds. Then I have my pitman arm. My pitman arm is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds, and it is secured with castle nuts and cutter pins. My drag link is not cracked, bent, or broken, and there's no evidence of any illegal welds or broken welds. My control arm is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds. My tie rod is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds, and not bent. My hoses and lines, there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. My brake chamber and clamp. My brake chamber and clamp is not severely dented. My clamp is secured to my brake chamber, and there's no audio leaks. My brake drum, right in there, and my brake lining are properly mounted and secured. There's no evidence of any debris inside of it, any grease, and my brake lining, which my brake pads, should have no less than 1/4 inch of thickness. My inner rim and outer rim is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds, no broken welds. My tire is properly inflated as per my gauge, 120 psi, no evenly threaded. There's no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. And this particular tire right here in the front should have no less than 4 30-seconds. All the rest of them are 2 30-seconds of threading. My lag nuts, sir, I have 10 of them. No signs of rust or shiny trails indicating they're loose. My hubcap and seal is properly filled to the proper level, properly mounted, properly secured, and there's no leaks. My stand valve, it's got a cap on, not broken, not cracked, and there's no audio leaks. Take a couple of seconds, gentlemen, to make sure that you've covered everything that you needed to cover. Did I mention my truck? The cover is not cracked, broken, or missing, and they're amber in color. I don't have monitoring devices in this truck, meaning I don't have cameras, man. I got mirrors. My mirrors are not cracked, broken, or missing. There's no hanging parts and no broken parts. Behind this cover, I have my battery. My battery is properly mounted and secured. I do not notice any corrosion, any loose wires or fittings. All right. My depth tank cap is hand tight, properly secured with brackets, and there are no leaks in the floor or ground. My fuel tank is properly mounted and secured. The cap is hand tight. Brackets are in place. There's no illegal welds, no broken welds, and no leaks. My DOT tape, visible from where I'm at, and properly mounted. My cargo light is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no exposed wires, and it's white in color. My frame, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds. My hoses, I have my electrical hose green, my emergency hose red, and my service hose blue. There's no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. They're not tangled, they're not pinched, and they're not dragging. These are my glad hands and my glad hand holders right here. They're properly mounted and secured. No cracks, no illegal welds, no broken welds, no audio leaks. This is my electrical box. No exposed wires, no fried wires, and it is properly mounted and secured to the wall of the trailer. Come back right here, guys. Talk about your apron. My apron right here is properly mounted and secured. Not cracked, bent, or broken. No illegal welds, no broken welds. My fifth wheel is properly mounted, secure, and greased. There's no illegal welds, no broken welds. There should be no gap between the fifth wheel and the apron. In other words, I should not be able to see no daylight. I got my release arm in the engaged position, properly mounted and secured, and it is locked with my locking jaws. My platform is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds. I have my mounting bolts are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds, no shiny threads or shiny areas, meaning they're loose. My locking pins are locked in place. This is an adjustable fifth wheel, and they show no signs of being cracked, broken, or missing. All right, come back over here, sir, and I talk about my locking jaws. My locking jaws is that bar right in the middle. It locks my kingpin in place, and it shows no signs of being cracked, broken, or missing. My locking jaws and my kingpin are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds or broken welds. My lights, I have my reflector lights properly mounted, secured, and red in color, and they should be at least 24 inches off the ground. I have my left and right signal, my stop lights, my hazardous lights are red in color. There's no exposed or fried wires. And I have my reverse light, white in color, not cracked, broken, or missing, and there's no exposed or fried wires. Right where I'm standing is my clearance. My clearance between my truck and my landing gear. There should be no obstructions in between. Therefore, when I make a left or right turn, nothing will be in its way. Step out here. And I have my clearance lights. My clearance lights are amber in color. There's no exposed or fried wires, and the cover's not cracked, broken, or missing. My DOT tape evenly separated and visible throughout the entire trailer. My landing gear, my landing string, my crank handle are properly mounted and secured. It's lifted all the way up, well greased, and my handle is secured, and there's no illegal welds or broken welds. I have my left and right signal lights, amber in color, not cracked, broken, or missing. No exposed wires. Back over there, I have my push rod and slack adjuster. Right over there, man. That bar that's sticking out, it's properly mounted and secured. I should have no more than 1 inch of plate when the brake is released or pulled by hand. This is my locking pins for my tandems. This is an adjustable tandem. My release button, they're properly mounted and secured. There's no illegal welds or broken welds. Come back over here, sir. And the sight is amber in color. There's no exposed or fried wire. My clearance lights. My clearance lights are properly mounted and secured. No exposed wires, no fried wires, and they're red in color. I have my left and right signal, my stop lights, my hazardous lights in the back. There's no exposed wires, no fried wires, no broken numbers. And I have my license plate lights, white in color, not cracked, broken, or missing, and no exposed wires. Gentlemen, this is your vehicle inspection. I want you to notice that how I am touching